What is up, everybody? I am just going to be waiting for Miloni to jump in here, and here she is. And we are going to be talking to you about our big review. So exciting. Hey! Yay!
Whoa. Apparently I am feeling the watery vibes today with all of this extra water energy. My hair is feeling it.
Oh, there we go.
Look,
there we go.
Full vibe. We're vibed out.
Vibe. We are. I love us. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this. Hi. Oh my gosh.
Hi.
I am so excited. Okay, so I am going to give us a quick, us meaning everyone else, a quick overview as to, there we go, what exactly we are sharing with you today. We are so fucking excited to officially finally announce. You guys have heard us talk about this, like, as we've been talking in our we've been going on in our lives before.
There's no such thing as mini when it comes to us.
No, we just keep going and growing. So
unapologetically.
Yes, and we are so freaking excited to officially announce the Red Pill Astrology experience with
yes,
Monie,
ma'am.
And
I'm Miloni. We are doing it. We are red pilling y'all 2023 and beyond.
And beyond.
You guys don't even know. And you don't even know. Yeah,
we just decided this is just going beyond just 2023. Yeah. It's going forever. So as long as we are still in love with astrology as much as we are, we will be doing this forever. So a little bit about how we came to this. I'm going to give us a little background first, and then we'll dive into like what this actually means. Well, first, you will be expected to see a lot more of us. You will be expected to see a lot more of us together, as well as offerings that are going to assist you in being able to better understand, and apply. Practical application is the jam.
Yes.
Astrology. So we aren't going to leave you high and dry as far as like, okay, what does this mean? And I don't know what you're talking about. And da-da-da-da. We are actually going to assist you in being able to fully understand and integrate astrology into your life so that you can use this as much as you want to. Right. And then at the same time, you could use this as little as you want to, because you'll be able to know you'll be able to have the context and actually be able to use this. So
real quick before you go, just one more thing I want to add on to that, because I think it's so pertinent right now, is I really feel that in yours and my journey, we've done a lot of work to break down, I'm going to call it just like stigmas or taboos that are around astrology in its own right? And that is also people in the community. So you can hear a lot of words about, oh, well, during an eclipse season or during a Mercury retrograde, doom, gloom, all of these things. And it is just energy, and it's how you prepare for it. It's how you navigate it. It's how you understand it. It's how you work with it. It's how you're doing your own work. And that to me is also part of what Red Pill Astrology is all about. It's not the hype narrative of right now. Yeah. Which is, oh my gosh, you should be expecting radical this and radical that. Yeah, no.
Yeah. We're not here to scare you into stagnancy. We are here, write that down.
I'm writing that down.
I don't even have a notebook. We are not here to scare you into stagnancy. We are here to just keep it real. Keep it real, and you can do with the information what you actually feel is right for you. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're going to guide you into options. We'll give you options. We'll give you hypotheticals will give you best uses of using the energy, but we're not going to tell you what to do. And we're not going to, we're not, and by all means, everyone, disclaimer up front. we are not like this, take the pill as you wish, like,
yes,
and take it as often as you want, but at your own risk, without, and it is not our job to we're happy if the things that we talk about assist you in like a bunch of growth for you and abundance and all the things, but we aren't taking responsibility or accountability either way for your journey and what you do with the information and how you apply it in your life.
Correct. Woo. Okay, I feel better about that circle.
Yeah. Okay, Saturn over here. So, a little bit about how we came to do this. I will give you a quick little, do my best and quick, how I came into astrology. I was actually born into astrology with my mom. She used to do astrology, tarot. She used to read people's natal charts. She used to be able to tell someone's rising sign based on their physical appearance, because your rising sign, it does can give some influence as to what you actually physically look like. And she was able to literally be like, this is how good she was at her craft. And
her mom's a whole vibe, by the way.
Oh,
whole vibe.
The whole vibe.
Whole
my mom
vibe.
is such
we
a
love
Pisces.
Her.
So my mom is a
it's a whole thing.
So this is how my mom is such a Pisces that she is convinced that she's an Aquarius because her Mercury is an Aquarius, and she's quote unquote supposedly in her mind on the cusp, even though she's 2 days into Pisces. She says she's only a couple hours into Pisces, and since her Mercury is in Aquarius and I'm on the cusp, I'm an Aquarius. Fucking spoken like a true Pisces.
Like
I'm going to avoid what the fuck I actually am, and I'm going to go be
I want to be. Yes. Anyway, yes, ma'am.
So this is the energy I grew up with, if you can gather. But she's awesome. She's fucking great. So, and I can talk to her about this, and I can bring this up to her, and I'm be like, Mom, so you know how you're a Pisces? And she'll be like, Simone, I'm an Aquarius. As if she hasn't told me this 50 times.
Right.
The best. As you take a sip.
Cheers to your mom. We love her.
And she used to do tarot and all the things.
Ooh,
and
it's 11:11. Oh, sorry, I had to say it. Continue.
And as she would do tarot and as she would do astrology, the things that she would say, there were truth things, and things would come out, and she would read people's cards, and everyone would get pissed at her because, oh my gosh, you pulled the death card for me, and she's like, you shuffled, these are your cards, and she's like, everything's relative, and whatever. And so eventually she stopped, and she also stopped doing readings for astrology as well, and but she always fostered astrology with us growing up. I have 2 sisters, and we have the book, the only astrology book you will ever need. I have it right here. I have the original one. Excuse me. And this is how much we used it. It's literally split in half. And she gave me this one, which I love because it has all her notes and things in it. But yeah, we are that's what I come from. And it's so interesting how this all came about, and really working with the house experience, as we're going to dive into. It gets so lost. My mom is like, well, I don't have anything in that house, and I don't know what the houses are, so it doesn't matter for me. And I'm like, Mom, she's like, well, I don't have anything in I don't know, she'll say, I don't know, maybe Virgo. She's like, well, I don't have anything in Virgo, so it doesn't matter. And I'm like, you do. You actually have a whole house that's a Virgo house. So so it's really interesting to see how people understand it and where they stop learning. And for me, I just picked up wherever she left off. And I was ingrained with this when I was very young, and I really started diving deep into studying it and applying it personally myself over the last okay, so just to age myself, I'm 36. So I'd say over the last 15 plus years. So, if not longer, especially with like all the information that my mom's given me. So that's a little bit about astrology, and then how I've come to just apply it in my life. I mean, relationships, friendships, any type of energies of the people that I'm like actively working with, my clients, my one-on-one clients, corporate clients, my different businesses that I worked for and things like that. I'd always get as many people's astrology charts as I could.
Literally, Simone's first question to you. What is your birth time and location, please? And it's no fucks given. There's no fucks given.
None. And like, none. And if you can't give it to me, then then we have nothing to talk about.
Like, I'll have you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's not to judge. It is to better understand, and to better like show up for you, like, so that I know how to work with you, so that I can give you a better understanding of who you are, and I can show up for you in the way that would best suit you and your energy. So if that and through and to have like that type of understanding of someone, and then to help guide them deeper into themselves, that is literally where I find astrology so useful. And before we keep going, I want you to talk about your experience.
Sure. So my background comes from, and this is why I love astrology so much, and why I think we work really, really well together within astrology, because I come from a little bit of the other half of it, where my astrology journey really started more from the learning section of it, that kind of gaining higher knowledge. So I am a Pisces 9th house. By the way, have no planets in Pisces. However, it's in my 9th house of higher learning. And of course, it's in that esoteric field, right? It's in all of these fields that make up like this dreamy, just beyond the human existence landscape. I also have an outer planet stellium in Sagittarius, which is all about the learning center, right? Sagittarius kind of rules that higher experience and that higher learning. And so for me, it all boiled down to science. I love science. I have a degree in science. I've always been a science head. Growing up, I grew up overseas, so I never really got the like astrology part of it. It was always the astronomy part. It was always being able to look up at the sky and going, okay, the connection between, wow, okay, if I'm on this part of the world, or if I'm at the equator, or if I'm over here, this is what I'm experiencing and seeing, and how I can use that to navigate, and how I can, I've always been fascinated with space. I want to be an astronaut. I would love to go into space. It's still totally my dream. Look, still totally my dream. Don't care what anybody thinks about it.
Red Pill. We'll Red Pill you on that.
Talk about Red Pill. Talk about Red Pill. Look, even though I know that does not stop me from wanting to go up in that ship and just see the space. I just want to go. I want to know. I want to know the things. So I was also, how do I want to put this? My childhood and early adolescence and early teenage year experience was very, for all the right reasons, was very sheltered from magic, sheltered from taboo, sheltered from, I grew up in a Catholic household. And so reading tarot, talking about magic, understanding my intuition and my power and standing in that. Those were very things that just weren't talked about for me as a kid. So my journey had where, Monie had this really great experience of being open. Mine was very closed off. And so I had to do all of that work to kind of uncover and uncouple all of that, to where now it's my burning passion and love. And I love to learn about it. For me, in practical application of astrology, I am very much like more free willing. So for me, I use it almost as an after the fact than a during, like a planning. So I'm not into like Hooray astrology or anything like that, that kind of future, like, oh, let me look at the best date and make plans for that. For me, I make plans and then I am surprised when, oh, wait, you mean I chose my wedding date to be the day before the eclipse? Of course I did.
And Pluto went direct, I think.
And Pluto went direct. Of course I did. Right? Like, this makes total sense. So I love astrology in that manner. And then also in my, in what I do for my living, my corporate job, I use it, again, same thing. It's like a personality assessment. So if you've ever taken, like, if you know your love language, Myers-Briggs, your Korn Ferry, whatever it is, astrology is no different. It's just another way to have a personality assessment. And that's how I use it too, which is I'll be sitting there and I'm like, I bet you I'm dealing with somebody who has heavy Capricorn placements. Okay. Let me put on that hat. Let me put on that hat and interact. Or, oh my God, what is happening? People are acting really strange today. Let me go and look and see what's happening in astrology. So that for me, it's a lot of practical application, and just kind of mixing in with the intuition part of it.
Yeah. And astrology is actually how we came to, like, literally integrate. We actually met in 2018. Oh my God, we're like 4 years ago today is when we graduated, and actually we fell in love with each other. 4 years ago today is is around the time when we fell in love with each other. And it was like right at the end of a Scorpio season. All great things happen at the end of Scorpio season, y'all. All great things. Well, no, but it was in Sag, because it was like around the 12th, or 8th or 12th. 8th or 12th, 8th or 9th. And so when we actually met in yoga astrology teacher training, yoga teacher training in 2018. And we were on two totally different frequencies. Bridget was at the height of her awakening. I was coming out of like the height of mine, but I was so in the dark night of the soul, and I was trying to like act as if I wasn't. And I won't speak for Bridget, but like I will speak to what I saw of Bridget, and it was just like this very lofty energy of we had this like part where we made introductions, and it was introduce yourself without saying your name, what you do, and like, or anything like that. And I was sitting right next to her, and her voice has always been so powerful and so energetic. And it was like, I am love. I am the sun. And I was just like, what is going on? And she's not wrong. Like, we are love. We are the sun. We are the stars. Yes. But I was just like, and I have very heavy, not heavy, but I'm ruled by Saturn. I'm very realistic. I have a Neptune in Capricorn. I have a Mars in Capricorn first house. Like I'm like, I get grounded when I'm not, I'm out there. I'm airy, but like I'm grounded air. and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we need a reality check over here. And after hearing that, and like, Bridget can speak to you as like to her experience, or Miloni can, but like we never like meshed. I think we maybe had one moment of like pairing up in yoga teacher training, maybe, and that was it. We like totally would always go to separate sides.
Oh, totally. And I knew, so again, I definitely was at the height of my awakening, and I was going through a lot at that time. And I knew intuitively, like I would avoid Simone like the plague, because I knew intuitively that she saw me and she was going to see through me. And I wasn't ready in my journey yet to be seen, right? Like I wasn't ready. I didn't know. I was still in that weird stage of awakening where you're like, oh my God, I'm all alone and nobody thinks the way that I do. And oh my gosh, like I'm going to be alone forever. And everybody just thinks I'm a crackpot and crazy. And how do I get through this? And there's no way that if I actually spoke what I said and stood in my truth, that people were going to stand by me. I was going through all of that. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's going to actually agree with me. And then that means I actually have to do shit. I'm not, nope, I ain't ready to do, nope, I'm going to sit over here and avoid the work. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
And then, oh, yay, you're so welcome. Yeah, and so I, as we started to like move through it, and we went through the end of yoga, I went through a major downward spiral in the middle of yoga teacher training, and inward spiral, I like to say. Actually, it was an inward spiral, and then I like the dark night of the soul persisted. And towards the end of yoga teacher training, I drank myself into the flu. I like had this like massive, just like my higher self coming in of like, you're not going to be doing these things that you've been doing for this long and living your life in the way that you've been living. And so you're basically going to purge this, and to purge that, you're going to like have to experience the darkest parts of these things. And like, I mean, like, don't remember getting home half the time, like drinking and all these things. And I'm like, okay, so what is this teaching me? And I fell into this space of, and at this time, Miloni wasn't drinking. And I was like, oh my God, like, she's like, yeah, let's go to the Olive. Like, and like, I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, she doesn't even drink. Like, what is this like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, I'm not going with Bridget. Like, I was just like, what is happening? And like, and then at the end of teacher training, I think you guys did like one Olive thing. I don't know if you guys actually went that one time. It was, and this is why I was talking about Scorpio. It was right before, it was our break for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then, so I didn't go. And then I was in my resistance. And then at the end of training, we like did a reunion thing at the Olive. And at that point I wasn't drinking. And we had the best time. Like,
we were out all night, y'all.
Oh my God. And I was just like, what the fuck? Why have I been like totally resisting hanging out with her this entire time? And like all things like come a
dance the whole night. We've still got videos.
My God.
It was a whole vibe.
Fun. It was so fun. Good. And ever since then, and I remember there was at one point in teacher training when I was talking about astrology, I saw your eyes light up. She was like, and it was just like, oh my God. Because I saw yoga and being a yoga teacher as a new timeline for me to be able to explore a new way of being able to, like, I saw the platform. I saw the ability to be able to have this, I guess, stage, for lack of a better word, to be able to give the information that I know, and to hit more people. Like, because even then, it was about making ripples in the matrix. And that's when I figured out that this ripples in the matrix is my thing. And so and when I saw her, like, her entire, like, being lit up, and I don't know where you were at with astrology at that point, but it was this beautiful moment of like, and I know and then you started like using it, and you started like bringing in some sort of things, and I kind of like, I still work through this sometimes, and it's like, but that's the impact of being able to show someone something
and who you are, and stand in your power.
And then see that another person take that or use that and use it within their own existence, and then put it out into the matrix and into the world. And it was just such a beauty. Like, I totally remember watching your face and you're like, I'm totally going to do that. Like, I saw that.
Totally. Ding. Which we both did in different ways. So we graduated 2018, started teaching, and I taught consistently all the way through until the shutdowns of 2020. And that whole process, I had a class called Wicked Asana. That was a Friday night class. And it was a really amazing time. And shout out to Lexi in the Sun if she's watching this. She just graduated teacher's training.
Yes.
I DM'd her the other day and said, you need to pick up Wicked Asana again and you need to take it forward, because she would rock at that.
I just
so I know I did too. So shout out to her. But I really, like, that was so healing and cathartic for me, because it allowed me to teach yoga first off. Also, I brought in tarot and astrology. So every class had some sort of astrological conversation to it. Every class had some sort of tarot to it or an oracle. And so I was really healing myself through that teaching, because it was okay to be seen. And my favorite moment, and if I cry, like, just let me, we're in the water here, was when my dad came. And I know I'm going to cry. My dad came to my class, and he obviously didn't have y'all, if you guys saw my dad, he's the best, first off, but you'd be like, wait, what? He came to my class, and it's a heated class, and sat in there in his jeans and a sweatshirt, because he was just driving into town. And I was very nervous about being authentic and doing that class like I normally do it. But I knew I had to heal those sorts of things. And so my dad got to see me for the first time, and who I really am. And then that led, like, the minute that was over, I knew he was like, my daughter's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to be okay. And so, like, that was, like, that's the power that, one, standing in your power, but also following these callings of, like, I really truly don't know how I fell into astrology outside of it. I probably didn't. It probably fell into me, right? Because it's what I need. It's what I enjoy. It's what I find comfort and value in.
Yeah. And what's so interesting about that class and our classes, we had both Friday nights. We both had Friday nights at 2 different studios, and we both had packed houses.
Yes.
Like, and it was 2 totally different energies. Hers was a heated Wicked Asana, like, there was actual flowing, there was actual vinyasa happening at some points, and I had a yin meditation that just fucking popped off. And it was 2 totally different energies, but everyone knew that, like one, they knew that we were like 2 peas in a pod. And it was like, I remember too, I think, like, the first time I did yin meditation, I think I did something with the chakras, and then I told you about it, and you just took Wicked Asana, and you're like, I'm gonna go through every single chakra. And it was just like this natural evolution of how we just like, and so we were giving the collective similar things, but just different deliveries. And it was so beautiful to see how people, like, what they gravitated to, and the impact that we made on individually, but, like, it was definitely so collectively, because or collaboratively, because behind the scenes, you and I are over here talking about, okay, well, this is what's going on in astrology. This is what's coming up. This is the full. And then, of course, like, we were always aligned with, like, the moons and the eclipses and ingresses and retrogrades and all these things. And so we had, like, the universe provided us beautiful talking points for us to be able to have discussions of, and just plant seeds, like, and that entire time, and, like, all of 2019, I personally remember talking about the upcoming Pluto Saturn conjunction of 2020. I had 2 different workshops about the Pluto Saturn conjunction, and we had this idea of what it would do. We had no idea how it was going to manifest. And it manifested as the 2020 situation. The 2020 experience, the shit show. And it was just so interesting, because we also had, at that time, throughout 2019, we had the move of the nodes in
Gemini Sag.
No, but they were
moving from Pisces into Gemini Sag.
That doesn't make sense.
No, I'm sorry. It was Aquarius. It was the Aquarius nodes.
And what am I talking? Oh, Chiron. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, then what am I actually speaking about? Chiron was working through our victim and working in the Piscean energy. And so we had this preparation that we didn't even know we had of of working into our surrender and working us into this ability to trust and being able to really fall deeper into who we are, our connection with our with spirituals, that our spiritual energy, our connection with the divine, and the trust that we have within ourselves to be able to do so. And then moving into Chiron and Aries, which we are still in now. And that happened at some point in 2019. And I remember, I mean, I don't know how forceful you were in your conversations with everyone in class. But I mean, I was fucking like, yo, like, get your shit together. Like, we have, like, yes, we have all the time in the world, but you don't have to take all the time in the world to make these changes and to start making changes sooner. So that's really where, like, I mean, and it's really like, what kind of energy did you want to gravitate towards? Yeah. And with that, it gave us this energy of, you know, this preparation of surrender, then working into Aries, you're working into your ego, you're working into your inner child, you're working into that fucking little kid in you that wants to throw a temper tantrum when you don't get your fucking way. And especially because we had the beginning parts.
Mars Capricorn first house.
Like, it comes out. Then we're here. So and so when we had the beginning parts of Chiron moving through the beginning parts, or Chiron moving through the beginning parts of Aries. And in that, those are the beginning parts of, like, your development, your actual physical development, mental, emotional, all these things. And you have this sense of, like, no, you're really being triggered. And then we move into the Pluto-Saturn conjunction of 2020, and shit hits the fan. Like, shit hit the fan. And I remember I think that's at that time, I think I had that class. I think it was that Friday. I think it was Friday. And I was like, this is going to be the last one. They're going to close this down. This is going to be the last one. I fit 55 people in the room that now holds. They say that the room only holds like 24. I don't know what.
So that was the last class that, so again, like, at this point in my journey, I don't have a TV. Let me rephrase that. I wasn't watching TV. My TV was literally in my closet with a blanket over it. So I did own one. I just didn't use it. So I'm really not into, like, what the word is and, like, all of the things. I was not really on social media. It was, you know, it's kind of going through my own process. And that very last class, I always brought in either incense or oils, essential oils, stuff like that. And I had a roller essential oil, a doTERRA roller essential oil. And I always paired them with what the energy was calling for of that day. And I was going around the class doing what I always do, have done for the last year and a half, and doing, you know, and again, if you wanted some, put your palms up. If you don't, put your palms down, respecting everybody's different journey and place that they're at. And as soon as that class was done, I think it was the next day, if not even a couple hours later, I got a call from our director that was like, you know what's happening, right? Do you really think a roller in a class is a good idea when you had a complaint, So, and it was my first, like, kind of complaint of that nature for my own class. And I'm like, oh my God. And so again, going back to Chiron, that was like, I had to work through that, moving at the same time, because I was moving into the new apartment, literally everything. By the way, do not move during a pandemic shutdown. That's all I'm going to tell you. Like, it can happen. I mean, when you're called, but if you can, just wait until it's done, because that was a whole vibe. And then I actually haven't gone back to teaching after that.
Yeah, and it was so interesting because you would think that Ripples in the Matrix, like, and everything that was going on, I was like, I mean, all, like, dude, when you made the decision to not, I was like, fuck, am I making the right decision? Because, like, we have to think, the fucking thing over our faces, all of these things, and I'm like, it goes against everything. It goes against everything that I believe in, everything that I know, everything that Ripples in the Matrix stands for, me conforming to it, and then, but still showing up. And I was like, I have to hold
your message was bigger than that. And that's what I always, that's for me, that's why I chose not to. But for you, it was the best decision because your message was needed. Your voice was needed in that time. Oh, as we should, like, dude, hello, let's just get the waterworks on, because that's what it's all about, is following your own journey and your own callings. You needed to do that. If I would have gone back to teaching, who's to say I would have gone to Hawaii?
That's the message I just got. Yeah, that's literally the message I just got.
And went down that path, and now look, like, I'm in Texas. I have a husband.
You have a husband.
And I love him. He's listening right now. I know he's on. And like all of that, again, you have to follow your own path and your own intuition. And you know, you were needed. Your voice was needed during that time. Yeah.
Thank you.
You are welcome. It is still needed, obviously.
Yeah.
But so Hawaii, that's where I started to do astrology again, incorporating the tarot. I, have a bunch of YouTube videos out there, was doing astrology, did my 2022 overview, which PS, astrology for me is as a look back. That video is out on YouTube. I highly encourage you to watch it, because if you go through it and you're like, I recorded that before 2022 started. Mm-hmm. And if you have any doubts or any like, are you sure? Like, go watch that video, go watch old astrology videos and go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, we're not mind readers. It's literally just what the energies are saying.
Yeah, it's just what the energy is saying. And so let's get into what we're doing. Oh,
yeah. Well, I was just going to tie it together. That was the first time we're in 2022. So 2021, maybe even at the beginning of 2022 was the first time that you and I talked about, we should do something together. Mm-hmm. And we kind of knew, like, man, we got to do something together. But again, follow the intuition, follow the energy. It was just never the right moment.
And I think we needed to have our own individual experiences to see, like, no, we actually do need to be doing this together.
Yes, like, absolutely.
I don't think we would have appreciated it as much. And neither one of us would have had the experiences that we have had in the process of us not doing it together, which has now brought more wisdom and understanding. And now we're moving into this, and we get to do it together. And I'm just 100%. So excited.
100%.
So we are officially announcing the Red Pill Astrology.
The first experience, which we're calling
the house
experience.
The house experience. So we have the intro to astrology within the house experience already done and uploaded, and it is actually part of my 2023 astrology mini mind, and you will get that automatically included when you join. So you'll be having literally the first view of it, and we are keeping it for them to have the first view of it until we go live with the 2023 overview, which is on the beginning of Capricorn season, which is the 21st on the solstice.
Yes.
So once that happens, then we are going to make the intro video live to the public. Yeah, thank you so much to the public. And we're going to have it be offered at only $33 for the first for Capricorn season, because Capricorn is all about self-mastery.
Yes.
And 33 is a master number and having to do with all the other things in the Matrix anyway. So we're just going to fucking roll with it.
We're going to go.
And we have so many other things in the works as well. And then we're having the first round. Do you want to talk about the first round?
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to be doing, so this is all about the houses. And we kind of, Monie had talked about that earlier with her mom, like, well, I don't have any planets in here. So the houses are actually the parts of your life, and they are what truly you can use astrology to help guide yourself and to help understand where these energies are coming up to. And so we wanted to start with the house experience first, which really gives you that deep dive into what houses are, what their signatures are, and then take you through when different signs are in that house, when different planets are in that house, and what that looks like, and that kind of whole process, which that package right there will set you up for, again, we're red pilling all the way through next year and beyond. It will set you up to have a really wonderful foundation to begin to get into your own natal chart.
Yes.
And get into, reading charts and knowing what a transit chart is and how to use it with your natal chart. Even doing charts that overlap. So, like for me and my husband, what does that look like over on top of each other? So it's just kind of a great foundational piece that gives you all the information that you need about the houses.
Yeah. And so you'll be able to understand how we read charts, how I've come to read charts, and the layering that happens. And it, again, practical application.
Yes.
It's what house are we in, what planet is here, what sign is here, and we layer.
Yep.
And it's really, the mind wants to make it more difficult than it needs to be. It's not
super easy.
We make it easy. So that is happening. And so, like we mentioned, the intro will be available on the 21st on the solstice. Happy almost Capricorn season.
Yay.
And then we will have, our plan is to have the first experience. So we're literally taking every single sign
and putting them through that house.
Through every single house.
Yep.
So this isn't some like, oh, I'm just going to learn about astrology today.
Yeah.
Like, you could totally like red pill yourself, like go down the rabbit hole and totally like try to binge in one day. But there's take it in chunks.
There's going to be content. There's going to be a lot of content, abundance of content.
Abundance of content. And it's like,
it's going to be Jupiter in Aries, abundance of content. So.
And a lifetime access to it all, a community access as well.
Then talk about the WhatsApp.
Yes. Yeah. Wait. Hold on.
Part. Okay.
And then we are also, before I get there, we are also going to be offering. So this is going to be a self-paced, self-study. The entire course is going to be like on your own, because like we're going to give you everything. But what's really fucking cool is every so often, once every few months, for every single, so we're doing the signs through the houses, the planets through the houses, that we're going to offer a live Q&A.
Yes.
So if you've purchased it, then we'll have no matter how many, say if you purchased 6 months ago, and you want to jump into the Q&A that's happening next year, it's going to be available for you all the time. So you'll be able to ask questions and refresh your memory and all of the things. You'll also have access to those Q&As and all of that as well. But in March, beginning in the official, actual new year for astrology purposes, for the start of Aries season, we are going to be offering, we haven't decided on the name, but essentially a WhatsApp container where you guys have seen us do our lives, as we've been doing with our energy updates of what's going on with, we just did the one with Mercury and Venus and Capricorn. And so I don't know if you guys remember me doing the astrology dailies that I used to do, which is how this also evolved. That was after 2022, and I was like, we just need to make sense of this fucking shit show.
Right.
That's actually how that all started. And so we're actually taking that into a WhatsApp container. And yes, we will be, so sign up. So follow, I'm so excited you're here, first of all. Sign up for our excuse me, follow both of our pages. And after this, I'm going to be putting up how to like sign up for everything. And so I can actually DM you. I'm going to screenshot, so I'll DM you and give you all the info. There we go. So yeah, so when, okay, March.
The container.
Yes, the container. So, so we'll, Miloni and I will be plugging in. Maybe it's the plugin. Maybe it's the astrology plugin.
Maybe it's a red pill plugin.
Maybe it's the plugin. Yeah, I think I called it a plugin initially. So write that down. Sure it is.
Got it.
Strong Virgo placements over here that I don't have. And with that, we are going to be pilling you every day if we feel like it. Like if there's something that needs to be called, like that's called to us, that's like, hey, this is what's happening, this is some energy to be aware of, this is where the moon is, this is how it might be impacting you. The moon is transiting in Pisces right now, so it's not, but in Pisces right now.
It's in Cancer, but that's fine.
Yeah, so check and see where Pisces is in your chart. You might be experiencing some shadows with that type of energy, etc. So it's like
your own personal Monie and Miloni text thread. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And the thing is, though, is it's going to just be us being able to give you the information. You'll be able to respond with like emojis and things like that, but it's not going to be this back and forth as of right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll do some entire maybe we'll do some container that'll evolve into an entire like astrology focused mastermind. Pin that. Thank you.
Got it. Yep.
But as of right now, this is where we're at, because we have to just kind of, we don't want to over promise, under deliver, but we can definitely provide like daily, semi-daily, like just little things, tidbits, and practical application. And then what's going to be great is like Bridget Miloni and I will be, okay, let me just tell you, Bridget.
Do you want me to tell that?
Miloni's other name is Bridget. My other name is Simone. Whichever one.
Yep.
For everyone who's like, who the fuck is that?
Yep.
There's a whole nother person.
Legal government name. Government name is Bridget.
Thank you.
Spiritual name is Miloni.
Yes.
From my initiations. So.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And government name is Simone, and nickname from when I was little is Monie. I love my names. I love your names too. But yeah, so that is kind of like what is going on. And what's great though is that her and I will be able to like converse back and forth. So you'll be able to see like this like dialogue of like, oh yeah, well this is how it showed up for me. This is what's going on for me. This is how And so you'll be able, again, practical application.
Yep. Just like I woke up on the full moon and was like, oh, reckless abandon and annoyance. Those were my words for the day.
Yeah.
I will share.
Yes.
So that way, as a Gemini rising, you may also feel the same.
So good. And who knows, maybe we'll put in little things of like, okay, so this is the chart. Like you'll actually get like visuals and things. Like we'll make that evolve as it goes. So, but that is happening. We are officially starting that. The plan is March and April 20th, 21st.
My husband's the best.
Oh, I love him. Gemini rising.
Oh my gosh. This is my Leo rising husband, by the way.
I love it. Oh my God. Too good.
So a Pisces. So
yes, so, and also big shout out to Mr. Hubby over there, because he's also helping in the back end with these videos, and he's amazing. If you guys need any assistance and like,
any coaching, he's a personal coach. So if you need anything,
any of that, like holler
Nopal's
at
the
him,
one.
especially with like, all of the things. all three of us together, we're just powerhouse. Anyway, so that's what's coming, and we are so fucking excited for this like literal red pill astrology experience that is coming.
All right, so I'm gonna Virgo recap this for all the people that need a little more Virgo-ness in their life. Okay, so Red Pill Astrology by Monie and Miloni And that is going to start 12/21 for the solstice and start a Capricorn season. We will be releasing our intro into astrology. It is a high level, easy, like digestible application wise about astrology, the zodiac wheel, the houses, just like a really easy introduction.
Ruling sign, ruling planet of each house.
Yep. Just kind of an easy walkthrough on that. So that will be released for 33, correct? 33. And then for Capricorn season. And then in February, we will start our very first experience, the house experience, taking you through every sign, through every house. Then following that will be every planet through every house. And then and those also come with live Q&As. And then in March, we will have that container, or what did we call it? The Red Pill plugin, already branded. Yeah. So those are the things that are just going to be coming up, and you can see us, we flow with the energy. We're still going to be doing these lives, but just always with us, the best is to expect the unexpected. Yeah. And you'll be right as rain. So just, follow on the socials, make sure, especially on IG, because this is where we do most of our lives. But I do put a bunch of stuff and all of this as well up on YouTube if you're more, if YouTube's your jam and that's your platform that you like to be on. I am on Twitter as well. And I'm trying to really cultivate that space on Twitter. So I do a lot of what we talk about in these. I try to get onto Twitter as like little posts and just mini like one-liners. And I think that's about it.
And then if you want to join the 2023 Astrology Mini Mind, that starts and begins on December 21st on the solstice. And you will get that instant access to the intro video that we were just speaking about. And this is 6 weeks of us together going through every single planet, what it's going to be doing, how it's going to be impacting you personally in your chart. Oh, hey, yeah. And she was also in our
I know. I was like, look, it's the yoga teachers training reunion.
Oh my gosh.
Let's make it happen.
The evolution. But yeah, so in that is going to be 6 weeks of us together, community access, lifetime access to the videos. It's still at 222 until December 12th, which is a portal. And also, if Irene is still on here, it's her birthday. It was just massive to have this portal day as your birthday. But yeah, so and with that, you will also have the opportunity to get 50% off your natal chart reading with me, so you can really just further understand how to read your chart or what the heck you have going on with you, so that you can move into 2023 as ready as possible. And I'm so excited because it's a big year, guys. But you're prepared for it.
It's a shifting year. There's a lot of shifting energies. Yes. And what, just really quick to make sure everybody is aligned and clarified, I am actually a student of this mini mind. I am learning from my bestie. I am taking the class with everybody. She is the one that is hosting all of it. So make sure that you go to her page to find that mini mind. The link is in her bio, I'm assuming.
Of course.
Of course. There we go. See, it's in the bio. But yeah. How many? There's 12 of us now.
I think there's 8 of us. We are
manifesting 12 minimum. Obviously, there needs to be 12. Yeah, so please continue to go in there and take advantage of that. So, and then come learn with me.
Yeah, and if you can't make the live sessions, you'll have the access to the recordings. You'll be able to ask questions, all of the things, post questions and all of that. And who knows, maybe I'll do some sort of follow-up at the end to get us all on the same page and just kind of see where we're at. But I'm so excited for everything that we have coming up. And I'm so excited for everyone who chooses themselves to dive deeper into themselves, because astrology has changed both of our lives, like indescribably. I don't know if that's a word, but like it has been such a journey, and it's brought so much clarity and given us such a deeper awareness of ourselves, as well as just like how to move through this world, and with more ease and grace.
Yeah, more ease. I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
And our next live will be 12/16 at 11 a.m. Central, so 9 a.m. Pacific. We got to talk about this Jupiter in Aries and Chiron stationing direct in Aries, which you got a little history preview of this Chiron today. So
yes.
Definitely join us. Obviously, everything will be on the socials. Gratitude for you.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you. I love you all that have stayed this entire time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
all right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.